Hello guys, and welcome to this English course on adjectives. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you everything there is to know about adjectives and what they are exactly. Best way to describe an adjective in English is to say that it's a word that describes or clarifies a noun. It gives you information on people, things, ideas, nouns or pronouns. It is very important to understand what adjectives are and to know how to use them, because they are essential when you speak English. Let's get started. Adjectives give us so much information about nouns. Let's, for example, take a common noun, cup, and see how many ways there are in English to describe a cup using different kinds of adjectives. Let's see. We can say, it's a great cup. You just give your opinion. It's a big cup, talking about the size of the cup. If you want to talk about the shape of the cup, you could say, it's a round cup. It's an old cup, if you want to talk about age. Or if you want to say what color it is, it's a white cup. Or talking about temperature, it's a cold cup. It's a broken cup if you make observations. It's a Korean cup, talking about origins. Or you can mention the material, it's a plastic cup. Or it's a coffee cup, talking about the purpose of the cup. Now, coffee, as you know, is a noun. But in this case, it can be used as an adjective. All these adjectives are placed before the noun. Let's learn more about adjectives. Adjectives can be found before the noun. It's called the attribute position. Or after the noun, which is called the predicative position and is just as common. Adjectives which are found after a verb describe the subject of this verb, usually a noun or a pronoun. So if we take the sentence, the girl is nice, the adjective nice refers to the subject of the sentence, the girl, but it is placed after the verb to be. My students are happy, same thing. The adjective happy describes the subject of the sentence, my students, but it is placed after the verb. I hope you understand, guys. Let's move on to practice now. Let's now practice finding adjectives in a few sentences. I'm a tall woman. Can you see the adjective in this sentence? I hope you can. The adjective is tall. It gives you the height of the woman. I'm a British woman. Now, where is the adjective? The adjective is British. Gives you the origins of this woman. I have blonde hair. Now, what's the adjective in this sentence? Of course, guys, it is blonde. It gives you the color of the hair. My eyes are blue. Now that's a different sentence. Can you spot the adjective? The adjective is blue. What's blue? My eyes. My eyes is the subject of the sentence and the adjective is blue. I'm nice. Again, can you spot the adjective? It's nice. Okay? And finally, the weather is cold. What's the adjective? Where is it? Can you see it? The adjective is cold. What's cold? The weather. The weather is the subject and the adjective is cold. Now, in the first three sentences, it's the attribute position. Remember, the adjective comes before the noun. And in the last three sentences, it's the predicative position. Remember? The adjective comes after the noun, and in this case, after the verb to be. I hope you understand this. Good job. Let's get started. I'm a tall woman. Can you repeat after me? Twice. First, I'm a tall woman. I'm a tall woman. Very good. Moving on. I'm a British woman. Repeat after me. I'm a British woman. I'm a British woman. Good. Third sentence. I have blonde hair. So repeat after me, please. I have blonde hair. I have blonde hair. Very good. My eyes are blue. Repeat after me. My eyes are blue. My eyes are blue. Next one. I'm nice. Repeat after me. I'm nice. I'm nice. Good job. And finally, the weather is cold. Please repeat. The weather is cold. The weather is cold. Excellent job, guys. Okay, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you now understand what adjectives are and how to use them in English. Please make sure to watch my next video as I continue talking about adjectives. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you like it, please show us your support. Click on like, subscribe to our channel, comment below and share the video. Thank you. See you. Hello guys, welcome to this English course on adjectives. In today's video, I'm going to talk about prefixes and suffixes that are commonly added to adjectives in English. A prefix is a few letters added to the beginning of a word to change the meaning of that word. And a suffix is a few letters added to the end of the word to change the meaning. We'll get more into detail. Let's get started. Let's take a look at a few adjectives with prefixes. Again, a prefix is a few letters added to the beginning of the adjective, mostly to make it negative. Let's take a look at a few examples. First, we have the prefix un, un. For example, if we take the word fair and we want to make it negative, we can add un to have the word unfair, which is the opposite of fair. Same goes for happy, unhappy. Sure becomes unsure. Another prefix is in, to make the adjective negative again. For example, active, inactive, appropriate, inappropriate, complete, incomplete. The prefix ir now, ir. For example, responsible, irresponsible, regular, irregular, rational, irrational. Then we have the prefix I am, im, for example, balance, imbalance. Polite, impolite. Possible, impossible. And finally, the prefix il, il, like legal, illegal. Literate, illiterate. Logical, illogical. These are just a few examples, guys. There are so many other prefixes in English, but I hope you now have a better understanding. Let's move on. Let's now talk about suffixes. In English, you can add a few letters to a noun or a verb to make it into an adjective. Not necessarily a negative adjective, it's not like prefixes. But there are so many suffixes in English, but here is a list of very common ones. We can find a suffix able, like adorable, comfortable. Also the suffix in, en, like broken, golden. Ease, like Chinese, Japanese. Full, like wonderful, powerful. Like informative, talkative. Us, dangerous, enormous. Or some, like awesome, handsome. Again, these are just a few examples. There are so many suffixes, but I hope you now have a good idea of how to use suffixes in English. Let's now move on to practice. Okay guys, let's practice finding adjectives in the following sentences and prefixes or suffixes. Let's have a look. I have an uncomfortable seat. Now, can you spot the adjective first? Of course, the adjective here is uncomfortable. Can you see any prefix or suffix? I do. There is a prefix, which is un, and there is a suffix as well, the suffix able. Okay, so look at how we transformed the word. The first word was comfort in English. First, we added a suffix to make it into an adjective, which is comfortable. And then we added a prefix, un, to make it negative. So the seat is not comfortable, it is uncomfortable. That's how prefixes and suffixes can be used in English. The second sentence, she has a black car. Can you spot the adjective first? Of course, it's the adjective black. Is there a suffix or a prefix? No, there isn't. Next sentence, his father was unhelpful. What's the adjective? Unhelpful, of course. Any prefix, suffix? Yes, there is a prefix, again, which is un, to make the adjective negative, and there is a suffix, full, to make the noun help into an adjective. Unhelpful. Next sentence, the actor is handsome. The adjective, of course, is handsome. Is there a prefix? No, there isn't. Is there a suffix? Of course, some. Handsome. I hate oily food. The adjective is oily, of course. Is there a prefix? There isn't. Is there a suffix? Of course. The Y is a suffix. You have the word, the noun, oil, and to make it into an adjective, you add the suffix Y. And finally, she is a dishonest woman. The adjective is dishonest, of course. Do you have a prefix? We do, yes. We have the prefix dis, So this woman is not honest, she is dishonest. Okay, so that's how with prefixes and suffixes we can really transform words in English. It's wonderful, isn't it? There are thousands of prefixes and suffixes. Again, these are just a few examples, but I hope you now understand how it works in English and how you can really transform and play with the different words and kinds of words. Repeat after me, please. I have an uncomfortable seat. I have an uncomfortable seat. Good job. Second sentence. She has a black car. She has a black car. Good. Keep repeating. His father was unhelpful. His father was unhelpful. The actor is handsome. The actor is handsome. Good. Moving on. I hate oily food. I hate oily food. And finally, she is a dishonest woman. She is a dishonest woman. Excellent, guys. Okay, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope this helped you understand a bit more about prefixes and suffixes in English. Keep practicing. It takes practice to get better at identifying prefixes and suffixes, but I'm sure you can do it. Make sure you watch the next video as I continue talking about adjectives in English. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope this helped you. If you liked the video, please show me your support. Click like, subscribe to the channel, put your comments below if you have some, and share it with your friends. See you! Hello guys, and welcome to this English course on adjectives. In this video, I will be talking to you about adjectives ending in ed or ing. These adjectives are very common in English and they often confuse students and learners in general. So please be really careful, listen very carefully, repeat after me, try and understand the difference. Let's get started. Adjectives ending in ed describe a person's feeling. For example, bored. I am bored. Adjectives ending in ing describe a situation or an event. For example, boring. Let's take a sentence. This film is boring. Okay, that's the event. It's boring. And because the film is boring, I am bored. That's my feeling. I hope you get it. Let's get a few more common examples. For example, annoyed and annoying. He is annoyed. That's a feeling. The noise is annoying. You're now describing the noise. Other example, confused, confusing. The student was confused. The English was confusing. Depressed, depressing. My mom was depressed. She watched a depressing TV drama. Excited, exciting. I'm excited. Traveling is exciting. Frustrated, frustrating. My dog is frustrated. Staying home all day is frustrating. Frightened, frightening. My little sister is frightened of the dark. A dark room is frightening. Satisfied, satisfying. My dad is satisfied. He has a satisfying job. Shocked, shocking. We were shocked by the accident. It was a shocking accident. Interested, interesting. I'm interested in articles. I'm reading an interesting article. Last example, 2 sentences, 2 different meanings. Look at these. The teacher was bored. The teacher was boring. Now, you really have to understand the difference between those two because the meaning is not the same at all. When you say the teacher was bored, you are describing the teacher's feeling. Okay, that's how the teacher felt at that time he or she was bored. But when you say the teacher was boring, you are describing the teacher. Okay, the teacher made the students feel bored because he or she was boring. Okay, so remember, ed is for feelings and ing is to describe events, things, situations. Okay, let's move on to practice now. I now have a few example sentences for you. Let's have a look together. Wow, I am excited or exciting about my new car. Now, what's the correct answer? What do you think? Now remember, ed to talk about feelings, ing to describe things. In this case, are you talking about your feelings or are you describing your new car? Of course, you are talking about your feelings. So, wow, I'm excited about my new car. Second example, try not to get bored or boring when you study English. Now, what do you think? Are you talking about feelings or are you describing things? Of course, again, we're talking about feelings in this sentence. Try not to get bored when you study English. Then math is confused or confusing to me. Do you know the answer? You are describing math to you. It is confusing to you, so math is confusing to me. It was a thrilled or thrilling roller coaster ride. Now in this case, if you think for a minute, can a roller coaster ride feel anything? No, it can't. So it's obviously a description. It was a thrilling roller coaster ride. And finally, my mother is disappointed or disappointing in my English school. Of course, you are talking about your mother's feeling. She is disappointed in your English school. Very well, guys. I hope you did well and I hope you understand the difference between ed adjectives and ing adjectives. Now, listen very carefully and repeat after me, please. Wow! I am excited about my new car. Wow! I'm excited about my new car. Good. Try not to get bored when you study English. Try not to get bored when you study English. Good, guys. Third sentence. Math is confusing to me. Math is confusing to me. Very good. It was a thrilling roller coaster ride. It was a thrilling roller coaster ride. Very nice. And finally, my mother is disappointed in my English score. One last time. My mother is disappointed in my English score. Very good job, guys. Okay, students, thank you for watching. I hope you understood the difference between adjectives ending in ed and ing. They are very important as they will allow you to describe how you feel and to describe things and events and situations. Please keep practicing, as this is still a common mistake among students, so the more you practice, the better you'll get. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you've liked it, and if you have, please show me your support. Click like, subscribe to our channel, put your comments below and share the video with your friends. Thank you and see you! Hello guys, and welcome to this English course on adjectives. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about adjective order in a sentence using more than one adjective to modify a noun. Now, this is a very important topic because if you use more than one adjective to modify a noun, you have to follow a specific order. So you need to keep watching. Let's get started. Let's take a look at this adjective order. It looks like a lot at first, but you will learn very fast and practice will help. Let's have a look together. First, we will use the adjectives describing quality or giving your opinion, like delicious, beautiful, or good. Then we will talk about size. Adjectives like tall, short, big. Then comes age, like old, young, new, 20-year-old. Then comes shape, adjectives like round or square. Then color, red, green, blue. Origin, like Korean, Mexican, or American. Material, like glass, gold, or wooden. And finally, purpose adjectives like sport or coffee. Remember my cup from the first video? Well, we could say it's a great, big, old, round, white, Korean plastic cup. So a great, giving my opinion, big, the size, old, the age, round for the shape, white, the color, Korean for the origins, plastic for the material. That's the adjective order. I cannot break it. I have to follow it. Don't worry, guys. Most of the time, you will only use one, maybe 2 or 3 adjectives in one sentence. But still, you have to follow this order. Let's now look together at a few sentences with multiple adjectives. For example, these beautiful young girls went to school. First, how many adjectives do you see in that sentence? I see 2 adjectives, beautiful and young. The order is beautiful, your opinion, and then young for age. Second example, I have dirty old running shoes. How many adjectives can you see? There are 3. Dirty, your opinion, old, the age, and running, which is a purpose adjective. Then we have that's a hot green Korean pepper. How many adjectives? There are 3 adjectives. Hot, your opinion, green, the color, Korean, the origins. And finally, Canada is a nice large country. 2 adjectives, nice for your opinion and large for the size. Please repeat after me. These beautiful young girls went to school. These beautiful young girls went to school. I have dirty old running shoes. I have dirty old running shoes. Good. That's a hot green Korean pepper. That's a hot green Korean pepper. Very nice. And finally, Canada is a nice large country. Canada is a nice large country. Good job, guys. Let's now move on to more practice. Okay, guys, you are experts now. Time to move on to some extra practice. I have sentences for you. Some of them are correct, some of them are not, and it's up to you to tell me. Let's have a look. She is a tall British woman. Now, how many adjectives can you see in this sentence? I see 2 adjectives. And is the order correct? Tall is the size, British, the origins. So it is correct, yes, size comes before origins. She is a tall British woman. I have a red big ball. How many adjectives? 2. And is the order correct? Red is the color and big is the size. Well, no, it isn't. It should be I have a big red ball. Size comes before color. I got a gold new watch. Again, I suppose you know, 2 adjectives. Gold for the material and new for the age. And age comes before material, so it should be I got a new gold watch. My mother has red long hair. We have 2 adjectives. Red for the color and long for the size. And size comes before color, so it should be my mother has long red hair. And finally, this is a cute little white puppy. 3 adjectives. Is the order correct? What do you think? Well, it is correct. We have cute for your opinion, little for the size, white for the color, and the order is correct. This is a cute little white puppy. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope this helped you understand adjective order. This is not that difficult. My students learn this order very quickly and I'm sure you will too. That's it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Thanks guys for watching my video. If you've liked it, please show us your support by clicking like, subscribing to the channel, putting your comments below and sharing it with all your friends. See you! Hello, students, and welcome back to my English course on adjectives. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about intensifiers and mitigators. Now, what are those? Don't be scared off by their names. Intensifiers are simply words that will make adjectives stronger. They will give adjectives more power, more emphasis. For example, two very common intensifiers in English are really and very. Mitigators, on the other hand, make the adjectives weaker, like the words rather or fairly. But we're going to go into a little more detail. Keep watching. Let's start with intensifiers, and I have a list of intensifiers for you. Of course, these are not all of them, but it's a good start because they're very common in English. Let's have a look. Really. This video is really interesting. The adjective in this sentence is interesting, and we make it stronger with the intensifier really. It's really interesting. Very. For example, I'm very happy to learn English. The adjective is happy, and we give it more power with the intensifier very. I am very happy to learn English. Other intensifiers include absolutely. For example, your new dress is absolutely amazing. Extremely, like it's extremely cold outside. Incredibly, for example, your son is incredibly smart. Completely, my wallet is completely empty. Unusually, the classroom was unusually quiet. And finally, enough, he isn't old enough to drive. Now, for this last sentence, the adjective is old and the intensifier is enough. It's a special case because, as you can hear and see, enough always comes after the adjective. Intensifiers are commonly used with comparative and superlative adjectives. For example, with comparative adjectives, we often use much. For example, he runs much faster than me. Faster is the comparative form of the adjective fast, and to intensify the comparison, we use the intensifier much. So he runs much faster than me. We also use a lot. For example, this red bag is a lot heavier than this white bag. Heavier is the comparative form of the adjective heavy, and we make it even more powerful with a lot heavier. And we also use far. For example, she is far taller than me. Taller is the comparative of tall. We make it more powerful with far, far taller than me. Now, with superlative adjectives, we can use easily. For example, this is easily the best restaurant in town. Best is the superlative form of the adjective good, and we make it even more powerful by saying easily the best restaurant. And we also use by far. For example, Sarah is by far the smartest girl in class. Let's move on to mitigators now. Mitigators are the opposite of intensifiers. They weaken the adjectives. Let's look at a few examples. Mitigators include fairly. For example, it's fairly sunny today. The adjective sunny is weakened by the mitigator fairly. So it's not sunny, it's a bit less than sunny. Other mitigator, rather. So when I say I'm rather tired. I'm not exactly tired. I'm a bit less. The adjective is less powerful because of this rather. Other example, pretty. It's pretty expensive, which means it's not expensive, it's a little bit less. Or quite, like the movie was quite good. The adjective good is less powerful because of this quite. Now, be very careful, because if you use quite with an extreme adjective, such as terrible, perfect, enormous, or excellent, quite means absolutely. It becomes an intensifier. For example, she is quite gorgeous. Means she is absolutely gorgeous. It's more powerful because of the intensifier quite. So be very careful when you use quite, because depending on the adjective that you choose, it has a different meaning, and it can be either an intensifier or a mitigator. Let's move on. Just as intensifiers, mitigators can be used with comparative adjectives. Let's look at a few examples. We can use a bit. For example, he's a bit faster than me. When you say he's a bit faster than me, it's less powerful than he's faster than me. So a bit mitigates, it weakens faster. Same goes for rather. For example, this dress is rather nicer than that dress. It weakens the comparison, the nicer. And finally, we can say slightly. For example, my car is slightly older than your car. So it's just a little bit older than your car. It's weak because of this mitigator. Let's now move on to practice. I want things to be very clear. So I have a few example sentences for you guys, and I want you to tell me if you see an intensifier or a mitigator. Let's have a look. First, it's a very interesting game. Now, what's the adjective in that sentence? Interesting, of course. What about very? Is it an intensifier or a mitigator? What do you think? It's an intensifier, of course. It's a very interesting game. It's more powerful thanks to this very. The second sentence, she cooks fairly good pasta. Now, the adjective in this sentence is good, I'm sure you know. What about fairly? Is it an intensifier or a mitigator? It's a mitigator, guys. The adjective good is less powerful because of fairly. She cooks fairly good pasta. The third example, he's quite brilliant at speaking English. The adjective is brilliant. Now, just a hint, it's an extreme adjective. Brilliant is a very strong adjective. So what about quite? Is it an intensifier or a mitigator? It is an intensifier, of course, because the adjective is extreme. I hope you got that. Next example, she's a bit younger than I am. The adjective is actually a comparative adjective in this sentence, younger. A bit acts as a mitigator, of course. And finally, my dog is much fatter than my cat. Again, it's a comparative adjective, fatter. And what about much? What do you think? Intensifier? Mitigator? It's an intensifier. It's much fatter than my cat. Good job, guys. Let's move on. Please repeat after me. It's a very interesting game. One more time. It's a very interesting game. Good. Second example. She cooks fairly good pasta. She cooks fairly good pasta. Third example, guys. He's quite brilliant at speaking English. One more time. He's quite brilliant at speaking English. Moving on. She's a bit younger than I am. She's a bit younger than I am. And finally, my dog is much fatter than my cat. My dog is much fatter than my cat. Excellent, guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope this has helped. Now, using intensifiers and mitigators takes practice, a lot of practice, but I'm sure you can do it and it's worth it. It will make a true difference to your speaking skills. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Thank you guys for watching my video and for watching this English course on adjectives. If you want to see more videos on adjectives and other things, please show us your support. Click like, subscribe to the channel, put your comments below and share the video with your friends. Thank you and see you!